So I have a bunch of trees done, and they're on my design wall. But I do have, I went through and looked, and I think this is the rest of the colors that of the fabrics that I didn't get so far. So I got all of the rest of the trees, assuming that I'm not actually missing something, which I don't think I am. I am gonna look back at past videos just to make sure. And so I'm just putting on the sides to do the treetops. And then I'll have to do the bottom of these as well. But we're getting close to done with trees, which will be nice. And I have to say, I knew that I had more than 41 fabrics because I knew there were a couple places I had bought extra fabric. Didn't realize that I had quite as many as I did. I think when I'm done, I will have 60 trees. That's quite a lot. It's made kind of a forest on my design wall, which I'll show you here in just a second. Finish getting this one pinned. So there is all the little trees that I've done so far. And then of course back to what we're working on here. I'll finish up these last few. It is nice having the Tri-Rex ruler and having that little notch that's cut out, because that makes it really easy to get these placed right so that your seams line up where they're supposed to. Otherwise, with half rectangles, it can be kind of tricky figuring out exactly where they're supposed to line up. So I'm really glad I got that. This one I had to actually put a seam in because after doing my flying geese in a circle around the mariner's compass, I just had a strip that was this wide left, so I actually had to piece the pieces to be able to get a little tree. What is it about stitching that's so soothing? I'm guessing for a lot of people it's been a challenging year. We've had our issues as well. We've lost a number of people that have passed away that were dear to us. And there have been other challenges, of course. And when I find that I'm starting to get overwhelmed or just perturbed, I find often that coming down to my sewing room and spending even just a few minutes pushing pieces of fabric underneath the needle to be very helpful for my mental state. And I know I'm not alone. There have been countless studies, I suppose, that show that people's blood pressure goes down and that it helps their mental health. Just kind of sometimes wonder, what is it? Especially since there are different parts of quilting that we all enjoy. Some people love to cut fabric. I am not one of those people. I don't like cutting fabric at all. Some people love stitching. Some people love the actual quilting process. Few odd people like ironing or pressing, and I don't mind it. I do find that kind of relaxing as well, but not my favorite part of it. But I love piecing together those pieces. I'm sure part of it is just the chance to be creative. That has also had many studies that have showed that that's good for us. Sometimes I think, though, it must just be part of the idea that we can take something, excuse me, we can take pieces of things and we can put them together to make something that's ordered and beautiful. And I guess maybe that just helps us feel a little bit in control sometimes when things are chaotic. Gives us a sense of structure. And I don't have little kids at home anymore, but I also know there was a time when, if I ever did get a chance to sew, that was one of the few things that actually stayed done, because obviously dishes, laundry, cleaning, all those things, feeding people, that never stays done. Those are constants. So it is nice to have something that you can do and be able to point to and be able to say, look, I did that. And it's still there the next day. Sometimes, of course, we make mistakes and we have to unsew and redo it, which is frustrating, but still, when we get done, we have something tangible that we have made that has taken a little bit of chaos and made order out of it and beauty out of something that doesn't really look like much. I mean, even if we see fabric that we think is beautiful, it's generally when we combine it with other pieces so that it helps it to pop. It just emphasizes the beauty of the pieces of fabric that we really love. And sometimes it takes pieces of fabric that we don't particularly care for and turns them into something that we go, huh, that's actually pretty okay. I like that. I do love sewing. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you probably do love it too. I think when this time of year, we think about things to be thankful for and what things we want to finish before the end of the year and what we might want more of next year or less of next year. And I know that on my list of things I want more of, more time to sew has pretty much been on my list since I can remember. I do try to be more purposeful these days about trying to make sure I get into sew. Still not as much as I'd like, but definitely more than I used to by a long shot. I hope that you will also be able to work on projects that you might want to finish before the end of the year. I had hoped to get this quilt finished before the end of the year, but I think it's pretty obvious that's not going to happen. But I hope to continue to make progress on it at least. What sort of things do you hope for the next year? Or what sort of projects do you have that you're trying to finish up? I actually don't have any projects for Christmas gifts this year that I'm sewing. Usually there's something I try to make, even if it's just little, but this year I don't have any. So I'm not doing a mad dash for Christmas. What about you? Do you have things you're finishing up for gifts? Do you have things you just want to finish before the end of the year because this was the year you decided you were going to finish that UFO or some other project? And what do you want more of next year? What do you want less of? I hope that you'll have a fantastic rest of the year. And thank you so much for watching us as we've been on this little adventure.
Okay, so this is what I have so far for my little forest of trees. Some of the pieces I have gotten little sashing pieces on so that they'll be able to be staggered, as you can see, going across. I don't have all of those done. I do have all of the trees done though. So I believe there's 60 of them. That's an awful lot of trees. So hopefully I'll get the rest of those done and then I'll start grouping them, and that'll be exciting to see. Thanks for watching.